So the member companies and Methane. When we started OGCI, the Methane was already a huge component, right, of the answer that we were looking for to bring. And so back in 2018, actually, that's the first target that OGCI member companies set up collectively. And so they released their target 2018. We were talking about methane intensity 0.32, and they were coming with an ambition to go towards 0.25 by 2025. And that was the starting point, and I think it kind of gave the direction of travel with regard to methane emission. And it turns out that they actually outperformed a little bit earlier than expected, and so we revised and increased the ambition, right? And so to give a little bit of an order of magnitude, we are talking about more than minus 50% between 2018 and 2023, right? So it's like they halved their methane emissions, and that's quite important for OGCI member companies because it gives them the legitimacy when they come to talk with the other operators to say, we managed to actually deliver and perform, and this is what we can bring also throughout the discussions. So the OGCI Methane Library. So this is something we started 1 year ago almost, when we actually realized that there were many sources, many resources, documentation everywhere in many different places, and somehow when we were coming to the operators through the satellites, we were realizing that they were not always aware of the full set of insights they could get. And so we decided to create this methane library that is now publicly available on the OGCI website. And so the intent is to actually collect the sources from every website, every organization, every expert, right, with publicly available resources, and put it in one website. And obviously the key challenge that we have been working on with iWood emissions was to make sure that the user experience was as good as possible to ensure that the operator can actually get to whatever resources they need in a very simple and short time. So far, it has been proven quite successful, I think, and we plan obviously to both update the content of the library in the coming months on a regular basis, as well as probably improve the experience as much as possible going forward. So the satellite monitoring campaign, that's one of the flagship of OGCI, I would say. We started back in 2021 with a small pilot just to check and see, what kind of results we would get. So we partnered with GHGSat, a satellite data provider. We started with Iraq, which is obviously one of the key countries with regard to methane emission. And we ran it for a few months, and we actually got results that were beyond the expectations in terms of plumes detection. We got like 80% of the flyovers that were positive, and like we got really high plumes concentration. Some were beyond 1,000 kilograms per hour, more than 1 ton per hour. So it was really successful, and then we engaged with the operators that were really keen to hear and understand, where it could come from. And so we actually expanded to a few more countries back in 2022, 2023. We did Algeria, Kazakhstan, Egypt as well. And it was actually every single time successful in terms of engaging with the operators and actually seeing, emissions shut down on sites that in 2024 we expanded, and we did actually more than 30 assets across the globe in more than 6 countries. And every single time that's the same approach. Like, I think the value of OGCI is like we do bring the data from the satellites, but we also come with the set of expertise, the experts from the OGCI member companies. And this is the peer-to-peer engagement, help them understand, what does it mean in terms of data, where emissions could come from, etc. That's actually one of the key added value of the program.